Morning, guys and gals. Froggy here. I'm going to show you a cleaning on my Mark II Ruger 22 caliber using some new products that I'm liking, KG Industries. And also, I am going to change out the recoil spring because I had some failure to eject on some of the loads. 22 ammo comes in a variety of power or feet per second, and also the weight in grains of the bullet end. So, long story short, problems with failure to eject on some of my ammo. Solution is supposed to be to go with this Volquartsen, a lighter spring. They give you 3 springs and they give you a rod that you can change the spring on. The rod in a stock Ruger, you can't change the spring at all. It's kind of welded or pinched together. So you just take that out, put it aside, and you replace it with this one. Also, I've got some a firing pin and an eject lever, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that all today. So we'll save that for another video. And let's take this apart. This is not going to be a detail on how to take the Mark series apart because there are a lot of them, and I've done some myself. And so I'm not going to focus on the little tricky parts of taking apart and put it together. My opinion is 22 caliber should be cleaned almost every time you shoot it, at least after somewhere in 100 to 200 rounds, depending on how dirty the ammo is. But basically, almost all the 22 ammo is very dirty. I don't know if you can see inside there. It's dirty. And this has only got maybe, there you can see it there, 100 to 150 rounds, maybe 100. And it got very dirty. When it gets dirty, it's hard to cycle. All that crud builds up and it makes it hard to cycle. And you start getting failure to load, failure to eject. You get all kinds of failures. So clean these 22s a lot, okay? So let's take it apart. It's unloaded, nothing in the chamber, no magazine in there, and I don't have any live ammo around me at all. Okay, that's as far apart as I'm going to take it. I'm going to clean the barrel out using your usual brass brush and then some cleaning swabs. And then the way I do the lower is I just spray it all with a degreaser. I'm going to show you something that I've got. This is KG number 3 solvent degreaser. So I'm just going to spray that down in there and then give it a light oiling. I'm going to oil the trigger up with the number 5 trigger lube, and then the barrel and the slide with gun oil, number 4 gun oil. You know, today I'm going to use some number 12 copper solvent. I've never cleaned this barrel, and I do shoot copper tipped ammo, so I'm not sure. I can't really tell how a barrel looks when it's fouled up with copper. Maybe one of you guys or gals can tell me, but I'm going to dip the brush in there and use some copper solvent. On the copper solvent, it has a little seal underneath the cap, a little red seal. Put that back in when you're done, and you also want to cut the tip on an angle so that you can squirt it out. So I'm going to squirt some down the barrel and then use my brass brush. I got a couple of brushes to use in the chamber area, a brass one and then a plastic or nylon probably one. And I'm going to use some of this number 3 solvent degreaser in the chamber area and then down in the lower. whatever is in that formula really melts away the crud. I barely brush that at all. So a little goes a long way. I need two hands here, but I'm just going to hold this. And you use gloves if you want to use gloves. I've been around so many decades, but the chemicals are new. So if you're supposed to use gloves. Anyway, I'm going to shoot it right down there and then follow it up with some gun oil. The camera's really not going to do justice to how clean that is. I like to spray compressed air down there just in case there's a little particle that didn't get flushed out with the cleaner. But if you can get little cans of compressed air, I have a big compressor, but I like to do that. That's just me. So now we're going to use trigger lube, and remember, shake it up, and we're going to put that on every moving part of the trigger that I can get to, which is pretty much all of it. Okay, I'm going to spray some solvent on the bolt. It's pretty wide open. And make sure you clean in here where the firing pin is and the extractor. And like I said, next time I'll do a separate video on installing that firing pin and the extractor from Volquartsen. Running a little late today. I like to take a screwdriver and move the firing pin. You can see me moving it actually with my finger now. And I want to move the extractor too, to just make sure that they move the way they should. And you know, I'm going to try putting the trigger lube on those because it won't take very much. So I'm going to use number 4 gun oil on the rest of this bolt and on the outsides of the bolt where it rides inside the slide. So just so you know, to loosen up the end of the Volquartsen rod, which captures the spring, I put a little screwdriver in my vise to hold the end that has a screw slot cut in it. And then I pull the spring back a little bit with my hand, and I patted the little pliers and twisted this. Once you get it loose, you can spin it by hand, but it's a little bit tight, and you want it a little bit tight. There's no Loctite on it or anything like that. Just little threads there, threads on the end there, okay? Right in the middle of your screen. So, same thing going on. There's a little divot in my hand there where I was holding that and peeling back the spring to expose the threads on the end. And yeah, it'll hurt a little bit. If you have a better way to do it, show me. Put it in the comments. And then I'm going to put it back in the screwdriver in the vise and just give it a little bit of a more turn just to tighten it up. I'm not putting Loctite on it because I might want to change the spring out again. Okay, we've got our Volquartsen lightweight spring in there. We're all oiled up with KG Industries products, and we're going to put it back together. I'm not going to show you the detail of putting it back together. That's in another video. Go to Froggy's Garage and do a search if you want that video, okay? Okay, so we're done and back together. As I said, this is not a video about how you put it back together. There are some good videos on that. It's a little tricky. Once you figure it out, it's not so bad. But this is just to show you some new lube and cleaning products that I like. So give me a thumbs up or like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notification. Be safe. Have fun. Froggy out. Bye-bye.